is going to be explosive. They're going to score a lot of points. They might give up some points, but 7.5 just seems kind of low. Even though I think the Dallas Cowboys are third in the NFC East, I still think 7.5 is low for the Dallas Cowboys. I think they'll be better than that.
Yeah, I mean, you gave the biggest of caveats, big fella. Like Dak Prescott being healthy for all 17 games. Dak Prescott has missed at least 5 games in 3 of the last 5 seasons. And so I don't know how you can rely on that. And then also you have to bake into the fact that their backup situation at quarterback is sketchy to say the least, right? Like we saw Cooper Rush a couple of years ago step in and save the day, going 4-1 over a 5-game stretch when Dak was out of the lineup. Have you seen Joe Milton play this preseason? Yeah, it's not great. So I don't have any confidence in the Dallas Cowboys being able to keep Dak Prescott in the lineup. You see what's going on with their offensive line. They got to replace Zach Martin. Their starting left tackle has missed the majority of training camp due to injury. So I just can't bet on the Dallas Cowboys to achieve anything of consequence. So, yeah, when it comes to the over-under on a win total, I'm absolutely going to the under. I have to believe it before I see it with these Dallas Cowboys.
Which means you'll never believe it because you'll never see it. That's really what it comes down to. So let's get that out the way, okay? I mean, that's really what it's about because, you know, we're talking about the postseason. We're not talking about the regular season. Of course, we're going to sit up there and give Dak Prescott his props because he wins more than he loses during the regular season. It's when the lights get brightest, when you're one and done, that Dak Prescott shrinks beneath the spotlight. We all know what time it is, okay? So let's just call it what it is. And by the way, when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys, let's not act like we're treating them as a team bereft of talent. Dak Prescott missed 9 games last year. They won 7. Of course, he's good for 3 or 4 more wins. I could see them having a 10 or 11 win season. I'm not trying to act like they're going to fall off the cliff. Not with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens out there for him to throw the football to, not to mention Ferguson. We get that. We understand what Dak Prescott can bring to the table. There's no longer Rico Dowdle running the football for you because, I mean, my Lord, they couldn't afford to pay the dude 1 year $6 million. So they go there and get Javonte Williams for 1 year $3 million. We understand. I mean, what they really saved there, right? Okay, they really did something well there. In the end, what it comes down to is this. Just an interesting stat to throw out to y'all. Most first-team All-Pro players since 1996. The Baltimore Ravens, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 5 conference title games. The Chiefs the Ravens had 27 All-Pros. The Chiefs had 24 All-Pros, 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 Super Bowl titles, 7 conference title games. And number 3rd on the list is the Dallas Cowboys, tied with the New England Patriots. 23 first-team All-Pros on their squad since 1996. Patriots, 10 Super Bowl appearances, 6 titles, 14 conference title games. The Dallas Cowboys, 0 Super Bowl appearances, 0 conference title games. You see, the point of all of this is we can look at it this time of the year and say, hey, they got a chance. They got a chance. They really got a chance. Right? Because they bring you a roster. But when it really, really counts, they're not there. It's that simple. That's all I got to say.
All right, you know who's always right on time? That would be Adam Schefter. Not just breaking news regarding Daniel Jones starting for the Colts. Also earlier, he was with you, Chris, on Unsportsmanlike with some very sobering comments regarding the Micah Parsons situation in Dallas. Adam, educate us.
Today, I feel comfortable saying I don't think he'll finish his career in Dallas. Today, I feel comfortable in saying that. Now, I reserve the right to change my mind. All of a sudden, the Cowboys step up and negotiate. But the way things have gone this offseason, the way people are talking, the way things sound, yeah, I would think that there is a real possibility that if he plays this season, that this potentially could be the last year for Micah in Dallas. Yes.
Wow, that is major. Stephen A., everybody has a threshold for disrespect, and we just heard Adam Schefter that he doesn't think he'll finish his career in Dallas. Your reaction to that?
I agree with him. Listen, Jerry could change his mind, get him signed, and obviously he can franchise him or what have you, but I think that Jerry is looking at the money he's already doled out on Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. a couple of other players. You're spending over damn near $200 million on 3 players, and Micah Parsons will be a 4th. You can't conduct business in the NFL that way. You still got to fill out a roster. And I think that right now he is contemplating looking at Micah Parsons and seeing what value you can get in return for his services. You might be able to pick up a couple of first-round picks. You might be able to pick up a couple of players. I mean, this could be a mega deal if you're Jerry Jones, and you're probably looking at it that way. Plus, he seems a bit salty towards Micah Parsons. Again, I have no problem with any kind of that thinking. My issue with Jerry Jones, which I will say to him whenever it is that I see him, is that how dare you not talk to his agent? You know, the kid is 25 years old at the time that you're having these conversations. He turned 26 in May, if I remember correctly. Okay? You know, stop acting like talking with him is a negotiation. It's not. That is incredibly and completely unfair. Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys franchise is worth $12.8 billion, according to Forbes. They have elevated by $9.4 billion since last winning a Super Bowl on January 28, 1996. They are the most prestigious franchise, arguably, in all of sports. And Jerry Jones is at the head of all of it as a marketing and business genius. Why are you acting like you're playing fair when you were negotiating with a 26-year-old football player about his on-field performance and what that level of compensation should look like? That is incredibly unfair. I think the NFL Players Association needs to get involved. I think the NFL needs to get involved, because I think that's flagrant taking advantage, that's flagrant abuse of a player. You can't do that. He has a representative. His name is David Mulugata. That brother is considered one of the best agents in the world. And you haven't been on the phone with him? That is inexcusable. There is no defense for that. And that is what this issue is. And that's why I think that Micah Parsons could end up being gone, because of the stance that Jerry Jones has taken. And at this point, I don't think Micah Parsons would even mind. He wants to go where he wants to go. But I don't think that he's fixated on remaining in Dallas. After all, he did ask to be traded. And I think he means it.
Woody?
Yeah, listen, when I heard that from Schefter, I was shocked, man, because the one thing about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, he always pays his stars, whether you talk about Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, you know, the list goes on. And here's what I will say about Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons doesn't come across as like this corporate guy, as opposed to some of these other guys that have been signed by Jerry Jones and such. Michael Parsons has his own voice, his own personality. And I think that's a part of the problem here. Yes, Stephen A., you talked about, how Jerry Jones goes about his business, and that is a big problem. But I also will say that Michael Parsons goes by the beat of his own drum. And I don't think Jerry Jones really likes that all that much. And so now you got two big personalities with the Dallas Cowboys. They can't come to a resolution. And here we are sitting here a couple weeks before the season, and you can't come to an agreement on one of the best players, not one of the best defense